How does one avoid frustration and unhealthy sadness over repetitive sins? Should I get a spiritual director?
If you can find one who's any good, absolutely. And they are around. Um, the thing that you should bear in mind beyond that is about repetitive sins is, if you go to confession, you confess your sins is a bit like taking a bath. And that's why people say, well, why would I go to confession? I just keep confessing the same thing. So, okay, stop bathing. Having said that, you don't want to take your habitual sins for granted either. In other words, well, I can't help it, so I just go to confession. One way you can perhaps you can stop it and roll it back is always to tell yourself, well, I may fall some other time, but not this one, not this moment.
Mm.
The temptation comes up. Not this moment.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll fall in a day, or an hour, or 20 minutes, but not right now.
Right.
One foot in front of the other, in other words.
I always say, my approach is I want to be free of this forever. I don't ever want to do this again. I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to purge this. That's always my approach to confession with repetitive sins.
Yeah, and they are annoying because again we go back to the problem of habit.
Right.
Habit is so hard to overcome. If you don't believe me, if you've gotten into the habit of picking up, I don't care whether it's an iced tea at Jack in the Box or a mocha at
Starbucks?
Yeah, that's the one. Try not doing it for a day.
Yeah, it's hard.
Now I would be able to think of it as Jack in the Box or Starbucks.
Yeah.
So.
Let's talk about the spiritual director thing because I've been also wondering about this. Talking with my mom, I got the impression that back in the day, spiritual directors were more common.
Yeah.
And nowadays, it seems like you have to go out of your way. You have to be pushy, and to hassle the priest. Hey, Father so and so, can you be my spiritual director? So I think that is something that has prevented me from seeking out a spiritual director, and also obviously we don't want to be pushy.
Well, we don't want to be pushy, and also today, frankly, you know how many times you go to confession places you don't know. And of all the confessions you go to, what percentage are quirky?
Yeah.
And so, when you've had a lot of quirky confessions, there is a very natural reluctance to hand yourself over and your soul over on a regular basis to some of these guys who run to the confessional.
Yeah.
So that's understandable, and yeah, it takes work.
I was looking for advice to break through. I was expecting you to say, don't worry about being pushy. Go out and do it.
All right. Don't worry about being pushy. Go out and do it.
No, I mean, do you have a spiritual director, if I may ask?
You may.
Do you have a spiritual director?
No.
Oh, you don't need spiritual direction.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, you already know everything. You don't need anyone to actually tell you.
No, as my late mother used to, I go to the confessional to bless the priest. No, I don't have a spiritual director, but there are like 3 or 4 priests I regularly go to confession to.
I see, yeah. I have regular as well, and unfortunately my regular got transferred, and I used to consider him treat him as a spiritual director, encountering him in confession, but yeah, now I don't really have anybody.
It's tough, but if you can find one, they're worth the weight in gold. Go to confession to somebody. Find a parish that looks fairly decent. And what do I mean by fairly decent? Let's pretend it's Nova Soto, okay? Look around the sides of the place. The perpetual adoration. What are their masses like? Are they eastward facing, or are they particularly reverent within the Nova Soto construct? And then once you've found such a place, go to confession a few times. And if you feel comfortable with the person you confess to, ask him if he'll be your spiritual director. The worst he can say is get a job.
You know, I mean, spiritual directors, though, I mean, when I did have the benefit of one, boy, they really can get you past certain things in a way that you could never do yourself.
Oh, I know. I had one.
I mean,
I had Cardinal McIntyre.
I know. Oh, you're so blessed. Cardinal McIntyre.
Excuse me while I just lie here in the effulgence that falls upon me from heaven. Oh, this is wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, if you had any idea how wonderful it feels to be wonderful. I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
How wonderful you were.
Oh, I can talk about that at some length.
I know. Okay, so, but yeah, I mean, should people feel insecure about looking for or making an appointment with a priest, not during confession, but during a different time?
No, you shouldn't, because number one, they've heard it all. Whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, they've heard it all.
No, but I mean, like, in terms of taking up time from the priest. Like,
what are they there for?
Well, you know, they're busy people, you know.
Yeah, they're busy people, but I mean, that's some of them aren't as busy as others. That's part of what it means to find someone. Listen, a fellow who takes on a number of clients who's a spiritual director probably enjoys doing it, and may for that reason be better than the average run.
Ah, okay.
Now, and of course, another good thing, and these tend to be very good or very bad, but you can look into the order of priests, Carmelites, Dominicans, not Jesuits as a rule.
Oh yeah, of course.
But even if they're making their money off my traveling roadshow,
what was
the Jesuit women.
The Jesuit women. There we go.
Yeah, even if they're making money off that. Anyway, but try again though. Check out the liturgies that they perform. See the general tenor of things. If you find there's a heavy Eucharistic element to the church, a heavy devotional element, that can often make up for a lot of liturgical failures.